and welcome to the All Round Anglers YouTube channel. I'm Irish angler and Yuki competition pro staff angler Patrick Fane. This channel will be based around angling in Ireland for multiple species, fresh and saltwater. Hopefully there's some good content to come in the future. Today there'll be no fish, unfortunately, sorry about that. Today we're going to talk about upgrading your favourite rod with this. This is a Yuki shrink tube rod grip. I just came across this on the new Yuki 2026 catalogue. They come in a few different sizes to suit your rod or piece you're covering. This is a 35mm by 70cm piece. The reason I've chosen that is because the piece you're covering wants to be more than 50% of the shrink tube. The reason for that is it's going to shrink down to 50%, so you want your rod to be 60% the width of that, so over half. And they come in a few different colours. There's red, blue, green and black. They also come in a transparent version. If you don't want to cover the rod and you still want to see it, you know, they've got you covered, excuse the pun. The rod I'm going to be covering today is the Bosforus. This is a powerful 3-piece continental style rod. It puts out big leads a really long way. We use this for targeting trout in Ireland on the east coast. Yuki have provided a grip. It is good, it works. There's plenty of grip when wet. The piece that sticks out will stop your hands sliding down, and it does work. So they have thought about it, and it does have a handle. But as you can see, it's taking hits. This is getting worn down, and I just want to protect it and basically beef up the rod handle. I want to establish a finger well here. I'm going to wrap some flat lace from here down and around the handle, give myself some kind of rib detail for more grip. As well as that, I'm going to add a butt cap, protecting that from any further damage. And so a little bit in it. Here's one I've already done, and the damage on the end of this was worse, but I've already covered it, so I can't show you, unfortunately. But if you're going to just do a straightforward wrap with no detail underneath, that's what you'll get. Lovely tight wrap. Up here you want to overlap here before you shrink it, because obviously the shrink tube is going to come down a little bit smaller. But wherever you want it to end up, leave a couple of mil over. I wouldn't try and put it on a certain line and then try and shrink it, because it will shrink lower. And even if it does land exactly on the line that you're after, you will still have to trim it back regardless, because it doesn't shrink evenly, you know, because it's shrink tube, it's not going to shrink evenly, so you'll have to trim it off. I would recommend just give yourself plenty of play, leave it up here, trim it back when it's done. So that's what we'll be doing. There's the rubber cap there for protection, rubber ring, create the finger well, and then flat lace for the grip. And what I'll do now is I'll just switch the camera, give you a look at the parts that I'll be using to do what I'm doing. If you're gonna just wrap the rod straight up with no components underneath or mess around with a handle or anything, you need very little. You know, you're gonna have to have some different parts and stuff if you want to bulk up the handle like I am today. So I'm gonna go through all that now, and let's get started. Right, so if you're gonna do the plain shrink tube rod grip with no detail or anything on it, you'll just need a scissors, a good blade. We recommend to get a heat gun You can use hot water. I paid €25 for this in my local hardware, and it's well worth having for that price. Obviously you'll need the Yuki shrink tube rod grip. If you're gonna do what I'm doing, put detail into it, you can just see there. What I'm using is a shoelace and some insulating tape, and this is a bicycle handlebar grip. That's what I'll be using for the cap end and the finger well. You could use other components that you could find laying around, maybe bits of rubber you could cut up to use that. I was on my way to the local hardware to go to the plumber oil and pick up some rubber rings and that before I discovered I had them. So whatever you can find laying about, it basically to achieve what you're trying to do. And as you can see, there's the 4.5 meter Bosforus finished in all its glory, and I'm obviously a fan of the bright tape. But yeah, that's finished. Looking forward to having this one done. I'm about to crack on with that. So we'll get started. Using flat lace, you probably want to make sure that it's not getting twisted, because obviously that's going to come out in the rock when you finish off. But anyway, that's the design there. Let's say you're going here to here, well then you're going to cut this. Don't put the whole lot of it on. Cut it a little bit over. So you would come this much over. Put it on, heat shrink it, and then trim it afterwards. What I would say is as well, something to cover the table. These get pretty hot. Gently slide on the trim through. Try not to disturb your design. Tie you here now. Much easier to glue all this down, but I don't want anything permanent on it, so this is the alternative. Give me a bit of trouble now. We get past this area here. Alright. Here we go. There we go. I'm just going to keep checking that this is tight and lined up where I want it to be. Like I said before, we want to come down to this silver whipping here. Oh, you can see that right there. That's right there. So I'm gonna overlap it a good bit, just to make sure of it. So it's about 2 mil. Yeah. As well as that, the pattern you want it to kind of line up. Nobody wants it twisted, so just be cautious of that as you go along. And we're going to start up here where the real seat is, because this is all going to be one tight section. As we work our way to the end, we're going to come into some detail on the handle, and therefore we want to push the air bubbles down along this and out the end. So starting up this end. So I'm happy enough. Lining up okay. I'm going to turn the heat going on. Make sure it's hot first. That's fairly hot, fairly quickly. I already said block the tail, because that will take hits. The heat shrink itself, after it shrinks, don't touch it straight away. Obviously it's going to be hot. Don't hold it in one area for too long, because you'll damage the actual rod grip, or you'll damage the rod. As soon as it shrinks down, move along. Do a section is up to here is what we're going to do, and then we're going to flip over and do the other side as we go down. And again, I'm going to start back here, work my way to the piece, and when it starts shrinking, then I have my distance to work from, and I just use that distance along the whole piece till it's done. I have to move a little touch here. So. That's my distance. Other heat guns might be different, but this is the distance that works for this gun. just see now the first bit of detail coming through, nice and tight. Everything's lining up. Just keep an eye on the pattern. Keep going. Cut this piece off, turn up the end, seal it up. Heat up the bottom of this, flatten it off. See there, turned out really well. Crisscross pattern the handle. Deep finger well. Crisscross up here. Happy enough with that. Straight enough. Just let it cool down. Now I must say I'm very happy with that, the way it turned out. As you can see, everything lines up, pattern straight along the edge, same design, just bang on, twins. All that's left to do now is get out for a cast. So there we are now. Very happy with how these rods turned out. It's a fast, easy, cost-effective way of upgrading those favourite rods whilst adding protection. If you'd like more information on the rods in this video, you can head over to the Yuki Competition YouTube channel, where none other than champion Irish match angler Chris O'Sullivan carries out a demonstration with these rods. I'll leave that link in the comments, be sure to check it out. I'd like to say thanks to all the anglers for tuning in, and the very best of luck for the rest of the 2026 season. I hope you hit those targets, and that's all for me today. Bye bye.